So hello and welcome to this YouTube video. This will be my first YouTube video on this channel, because this is a new channel. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you enjoy anime content, maybe watch my future videos too. I don't know if you want to, but maybe you don't want to, and that's okay. But yeah, so I'll be posting anime videos, by the way, and this video is going to be on Jujutsu Kaisen, specifically the anime adaptation so far, so just like one season. So, yeah, this is nothing to do with the manga, so don't worry, there's no manga spoilers. And for people who only read the manga, this talks about the anime adaptation, which you probably know more than anime adaptation, but I don't know. This is about the anime adaptation. So, yeah, I have 5 main topics for the video because, this is about why I like Jujutsu Kaisen so much, and it's my favorite anime. So, the main topics are 5. So, 1 is each individual character and their abilities and strength. 2 is, and also if you see me looking to like a little bit next to the camera, it's because I have like some notes up there for talking points and information. So yeah, character strength was the last thing I said, and then next is Yuji Itadori, who is the main protagonist of the series. Satoru Gojo. I think I literally just like slurred those words. I think I like said Goju. Okay, it's Gojo. He is the teacher of Yuji Itadori and his fellow first-year classmates. So, yeah, and he is also known as the most strong Jujutsu sorcerer in their universe. Yeah, and then the 4th one is the plot of the series. I don't know how you could talk about a anime that you really like your favorite anime, without mentioning like the plot, because that's like what it's formed around, right? So, talk about the plot. And then lastly is the female characters, which is something I feel very passionately about. So, yeah, I'll talk about all 5 of those, and then I'll do a little summary at the end, and that's the video plan. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So to start going into each topic, I will start with the first one I listed, which is the individual characters. So I'm basically just going to be going over each character's special ability, and the reason I'm adding this into the why I like this anime so much is because I think that they all have really diverse abilities, and they're also all very strong, so yeah, and I think that's really cool. So, let's talk about the first years first. So, Fushiguro is the first year. First year. So he uses Shikigami, and he makes them out of the shadows surrounding him. So when there are shadows around him, he can create any of his 10 animals that he possesses, and he can only use up to 10. And when one of them permanently dies, or when one of them dies, it's permanent. So he can only possess 10, and when one of them dies, it's permanent, and he has to tame or train them before he can use them in a fight. Next, first year is Nobara Kugisaki. Also, Fushiguro's first name is Megami. Just put that out there because I didn't say his full name. So Nobara Kugisaki is one of the other first years, and she uses cursed energy like most people, like everybody pretty much. Uses cursed energy and uses it to manipulate nails with her hammer or with a hammer. She has used multiple different hammers. So yeah. But she basically has tons of different techniques involving nails and cursed energy, to put it simply. Now we have our last first year in Yuji Itadori, who is the main protagonist of this series. He naturally has superhuman-like strength and speed. I've seen a lot of people leaving out the fact that he has, like, super speed. But yeah, he has super strength and super speed, basically. And he also fights with cursed energy, just like, punches, I think, is like his main fighting method. He uses punches a lot. He does incorporate kicks here and there, but he mainly focuses on punches with cursed energy. He is also the current record holder of the most Black Flash uses in one go, so like back-to-back Black Flash uses, which is like a really powerful cursed energy technique. So he's done it 5 times in one go. So next we are going to start with the second years. We have Maki. She uses weapons embedded with cursed energy, and she just kind of has lots of combat skill. Like, overall, she's just good at combat, so, yeah. And, I mean, I think that's really unique for this series, because everybody else has, like, something like the Shikigami. He creates something out of the shadows. Nobara can, like, manipulate nails with her hammer. Yuji, he basically just fights with cursed energy. That's not intense or anything, but then the other 3 we'll get into also have pretty intense things, but she's kind of just like, she fights with weapons embedded with cursed energy, which doesn't sound super cool, but she has insane combat skills, and she's insanely talented and strong, so yeah. Alright, so next, second year, is Inomaki, Toge Inomaki. Also, Maki's last name is Zenin, so she's part of the infamous Zenin clan. So, Inomaki, or Toge Inomaki, is the user of cursed speech. Basically, whatever he says to somebody or something happens to that person or curse, and the strength of the words depend on the opponent's strength. Yeah. And probably, I would assume that it also depends on his state. Like, if he is really worn out, it probably doesn't affect the opponent as much. But yeah, so if he has a stronger opponent, then his words or the things he says won't do as much damage as if he was fighting like a really weak person. And if he uses it too much, he does get hurt. Yeah. So the last second year is Panda. No last name that I'm aware of, just Panda. Panda is a cursed corpse who is able to take lots of blows, punches, kicks, whatever, and switch to one of his other 2 cores. So he has 3 cores. One's his Panda, just basically him, and then he has his sister's core, which is Gorilla, and that is the only other one we know of. And he has one more, but he hasn't switched to it, and that's his younger brother, I believe. Or maybe it's the other way around. Younger sister, older brother, whatever. But yeah, so he can switch to the Gorilla, and he gets this, like, intense, like, transition. Like, he looks really different. He looks, like, scarier, and he also just, like, he's been trained since he was, like, a baby panda to be, like, really strong. He also focuses around punching, like Yuji. Now, the last person we'll be going over the ability of is Gojo, who is the teacher of the first years. I already said his name. So, he uses an ability, I don't know, it's just like all labeled as limitless. Like, that's just what it is, because he has so many different things he can do. And I doubt he has even shown all of them in the anime so far. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, limitless. Yeah, so the reason I added this is because I already mentioned, I think that every character has a really different, diverse set of skills and abilities, and they have like very different capabilities, strength. Well, they're all really strong, but they do have different strengths. And I think that the diversity in the abilities is something really interesting and worth noting for a reason that this anime is really good. So, I did want to say my personal favorite ability out of all of them is Cursed Speech, which is Inumaki. I think that it's really, really, really cool. Um, yeah, so that sums up the individual characters section. So for the second section, so yeah, we're talking about Yuji Itadori, like I said before. So Yuji was born a normal kid, like most normal kids, except for the fact that he does have like superhuman strength. He was pretty normal other than that and grew up pretty normal other than that. And he lived by himself because he did not have parents. I mean, he did, but did. Like emphasis on did. Um and he was a high school student, like a normal high school student before he found out about jujutsu sorcery, and he actually did find out about jujutsu sorcery when he was in his mid-teens. I think it was when he was 15 or 16. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a hard time kind of like telling the timeline of Jujutsu Kaisen. So if anybody does know, I'll probably look it up while I'm editing if I have the effort or if I have the energy to even do that. But if anybody wants to tell me like how fast time passes by and like kind of give me a little bit of a timeline, that would be amazing. My email and Discord will be in the description, whichever way you want to reach out to me. And it will be my email for specifically this account. I do have a different email that I do check more, but I'll try and check this if this video or if this like channel ever blows up. I'll try and check that email more, or maybe I will switch it to my personal email. So back to the topic. Yuji does not have parents, and his grandfather, his other like his only other relative that's like ever seen in the anime so far, and is said, I'm pretty sure it's like implied that he's his only other relative, or at least his only other relative that he knows of, and he is in the hospital and like on his deathbed. So he does end up dying pretty no, not pretty late, like a little later on into the first episode. So yeah. And his grandfather, before he died, said, "You're a strong kid, so help others. Just save as many people as you can, even if it's only one." And that statement does start a hero complex in Yuji, which is not always a bad thing, but Yuji does not portray it very well. So hero complex, I'll put it up on the screen. I do have like a saved image of what a hero complex is, so I don't have to look for it. So yeah. So his hero complex is pretty much bad because he wants to save everyone he comes across that needs saving. Even if it's super dangerous, and when he can't help anybody or can't help a person, he beats himself up about it and kind of just like holds himself accountable, even though it's not his fault. And that's why it's pretty bad. It's because he's just not, he has like a hero complex is not a bad thing, but he just doesn't have the right mindset to use it or to do it properly. And a little bit more about his personality. He is a kind-hearted kid, and he has lots of comic relief moments in the show. He's serious a lot of the time, or not a lot of the time. He's serious, but it's like pretty much any other anime. It has lots of comic relief, Probably more than every other anime. But it has lots of comic relief, and a lot of it comes from Yuji and Gojo. So yeah, he seems really goofy. He seems funny. He seems like a good friend, though. Like he seems like he's kind. He'll listen to you, and he'll be there for you when you need it. That's kind of what I pick up from him. But he is also like a really like joking type of guy. Like he probably jokes around a lot, and yeah, and I do find it really fun to watch him grow as a sorcerer and gain more power on his own without the help of Sukuna, who is actually a king of curses. Or the king of curses. My fault there. He is the king of curses, Ryomen Sukuna, and yeah, he lives inside of Yuji because Yuji ate his finger, which is seen pretty early on, which you probably know that if you're watching this video because it's about the anime. Maybe you're trying to just like find out about the anime and why I like it so much. So, yeah. um anyways, overall, Yuji as a character is very interesting and exciting to follow. His journey to improve as a sorcerer and save people is really entertaining, and his overall personality and the way he was written is really amazing, and I think he has lots of room for growth and is just in general probably one of my favorite anime characters of all time. So that wraps up this section. Sort of. I do want to say that the reason I included this is because he is the main character. I feel like I have to add like the reason I chose to add these things for this video because I don't know. But the reason I added Yuji as a topic for why I think the anime is so good is because he is the main character, and I honestly just kind of feel like he's relatable, he's interesting, entertaining, and just an exciting character to watch. So, yeah. Now, moving on to the next topic. Okay, hi, it's me, Bree, in a different position. Should I check if this volume sounds good? The mic is like right here. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me stop this recording. Alright, we're back. I checked the volume and it sounds fine. So, the next topic is Gojo. I'm really struggling right now to speak properly. Every time I've been recording saying Gojo's first name, I keep slurring them together and it sounds like Satoru Gojo. Like, that's how I've been saying it because I'm slurring my words. I just can't talk properly right now. I'm sorry. We're just gonna go with calling him Gojo so that I'm not struggling this much. Yeah. So, Gojo is a teacher at the Jujutsu sorcery school that Yuji attends and is known as the strongest sorcerer in their universe. I know I might get like canceled for this, but I'm saying strongest sorcerer because there is an argument that has been discussed for a while in this fandom or people who watch the anime. I know some people don't like the word fandom because I don't know, they just don't. So in the group of people that enjoy this anime, there's an argument that consists of like Sukuna versus Gojo as a fight, like who's actually the strongest, because a lot of people question if Gojo is actually like the strongest in the series in general, because he does act like it. I have it written in my notes to mention it later, but Gojo has a god complex. I'll put it up on the screen. I already have a screenshot of the definition, so I'll put it up on the screen, but he does have a god complex. He's very confident in his own abilities and skills, so it does kind of make you think that he is the most powerful, but sometimes I do myself actually have doubts that he is the most powerful. Sometimes I think, like, if Sukuna is actually fully powered, could he beat Gojo? Because I don't think Sukuna himself has actually spoken on the like topic of if you were to fight Gojo, would you win? But I mean, I'm assuming he would probably say yes. But yeah, he seems like a pretty self-confident guy. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just not sure personally. I do think Gojo is probably the strongest because he is very overpowered, and his ability is called Limitless, which kind of gives you a little bit of insight of just how overpowered he is. Throughout the anime, at least so far, we have seen many different techniques that he uses, and obviously he's just like very talented and skilled as a fighter. Like, just in combat, he's pretty skilled, and I think that's definitely something to note. Like, he has so many, sorry if this distracts you, it's just like something I like to fidget with because I have ADHD. But it's called Limitless. He has already shown that he can do a lot of different things very early on in the show too. So that makes you like think, if he's showing all of these super intense and all these crazy like just abilities, how really powerful is he? Like, in season 1, I'm not sure exactly how many different techniques he's used, but he's like shown so many of them, so like it makes you think, whoa, what is like, how powerful is he? So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to mention about him. I did want to say that he does also seem very laid back, and has lots of comedic relief moments, which I mentioned Gojo and Itadori are probably the most comedic relief characters in the show. So yeah, he does seem pretty laid back and just like, I don't know, not super intense. And also, another thing to note for thinking that he is the strongest is that whenever he's fighting a character or a person, a curse in the series, he does not show any sign of nervousness or struggle. In any of his fights, he's always seemed to know exactly what he's doing, know how it's gonna play out, and like never seemed to struggle, which is very intense. And I do think that his domain expansion is one of the strongest things in the series, strongest techniques in the anime series so far, and I'm pretty sure it just is the strongest technique shown in the anime adaptation so far. That could change. Or maybe it was Sukuna's domain expansion. His killed a curse in like 0.1 seconds, right when he like said domain expansion, and it was like Malevolent Shrine, I believe. But like the curse just like got split into a billion different pieces. Not a billion, like not that many. That's all on Gojo. I think that it was important to mention because he is one of the most powerful characters in the series, if not the most powerful. So, yeah, and I think he was developed really well. I forgot exactly who it was that the video was on, but it was like, if I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen and a channel. But it was like talking about how well made Gojo is for an overpowered character, like talking about how people like never create super developed characters that are also overpowered, and Gojo is very well written and very well developed as an overpowered character. So yeah, if I do find that video, I will put it up. If I don't, I'm really sorry. And if you know what I'm talking about, please link it in the comments or say the channel name or video name or whatever. So yeah, moving on to the next topic, we have the plot. All right, so I am now going to be talking about plot section of this video, which is the second to last section before I end the video. If I sound a little bit more quiet now, it's because it's getting later and I am putting off finishing recording this because I am lazy and work, but whatever. I'm not gonna keep talking because I don't want this video to drag on super long. So the plot is the next topic. So the plot of the show is basically surrounded around Yuji's death because Yuji needs to consume all of Sukuna's fingers, which is 20 fingers, by the way, and then he will get executed once he has eaten all of the 20 fingers, because when you eat one object from a curse, if there are other objects, or if there was just like that one, then whenever you die, that curse cannot be like a thing again. So when you have consumed all parts of a curse, then when you die, that curse can't exist anymore. So basically the goal is Yuji eats all of the cursed fingers and then Sukuna won't exist anymore. So it is pretty basic. At least I think it's pretty basic. Like, it's just like he has to eat all these fingers so that this villain can die. But I do find it very interesting because we have this character that's relatable, kind, and funny who is going to die in the end. And while watching this series, you almost forget he will die at some point, which makes it all the more sad when you realize he will end up dying in the end. So in general, the anime feels like it's trying to get you connected to this character and just kill him off at the end, even though you do know it is going to happen. Like, it just feels like they're just trying to get you so connected to it. But I am excited to see how it will turn out, because there is the fact that he is meant to die, but then there are also the group of like villains or antagonists that are trying to get Yuji or Sukuna on their side. They're trying to get Yuji first, and then they need Yuji to make a deal with Sukuna, or back him into a corner to make a deal with Sukuna, where Sukuna will take over and help them get rid of Gojo. And they want to have like a new world where curses are superior life forms over humans / sorcerers, and they want to seal Gojo to where he cannot stop them. I forgot what it's called, but it's like this cursed object that can seal something in it, and with Gojo sealed, it would be a lot easier for them to fulfill their goal of having a superiority over humans or sorcerers. So I do think that if they can get Yuji in some sort of vulnerable situation to where he feels like he is gonna die, like, I think they could probably have Sukuna take over. So yeah, in general, the plot of the series is something I'm excited to see play out, like whether or not the sealing thing works, or if it doesn't, and then just Sukuna is over party on Twitter. Get it trending. No, I'm joking though. This section is female characters, and if you watch anime and you're female or female adjacent, you probably pay attention to female characters more closely. No, I just think it's like different views on the characters. Like, I think female or female adjacent people watching anime want to watch for good and well-developed, well-written female characters, and then male and male-adjacent people probably tend to pay attention to more, like, sexual female characters, or female characters that they find attractive, and yeah. I'm definitely one of those people that looks for good female characters. So as a female anime watcher, I am oftentimes really disappointed at the lack of good female characters in anime. Many of the characters don't have lots of strength, or sometimes they do, but the writers don't write them to be strong characters or to have any kind of development or show their strength. So, for example, I watched a video by the YouTuber named Sage's Rain. I'll put it up on the screen, and the video that I watched. So, he was talking about the tragic Naruto female characters. I think it was called How Naruto Failed Its Female Characters. But yeah, so the female characters had potential, but it was like completely denied, and they became healers instead of fighters. And like he said in a video, Sakura, her true abilities lied in genjutsu, and she still became a healer. And she's a good healer, but like she's not amazing, and she could have been better at like genjutsu, and she was very strong, but now she's a healer. So yeah, but that's another conversation, right? So yeah, I really enjoy seeing a well-crafted female character, and in my opinion, Jujutsu Kaisen has some of the best female characters I have seen in anime. They all seem really strong and independent, and they don't ever rely on male characters or rely on anybody to save them. It just feels like they know, or they are confident in themselves, and they know that they have good enough abilities to fight for themselves. And yeah, so I just feel like the female characters are really well written, really well developed. They are sometimes even more interesting than some of the male characters in the series. So I think that is something I really connect to, being a female in real life. And I hope that men, women, non-binary people, anybody in between that, can see that female characters are not normally represented perfectly in anime. Ending this video, I just want to say thank you for watching if you did watch this. So this was really fun to make, honestly, because this is my first YouTube video, and I am talking about something that I really enjoy to talk about. So yeah, writing the notes for this did take a while because I didn't know exactly what to write. If you have any ideas for future videos, let me know in the comments, email me, or let me know on Discord, which will be in the description. I will also have some about me in the description since this is a new channel. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that. So I did want to say, keep in mind this is just on the anime adaptation. This was not about manga at all. So yeah, just want to confirm that again so nobody's like mad at me or anything, because I feel like the anime and manga community can be kind of ruthless sometimes. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, leave a like. If you want to, I mean, if you enjoyed it, it makes sense, but if you don't want to, then that's whatever. And if you enjoyed watching me personally, then and you would like to see more of me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day, night, morning, any other time of the day. And yeah, I hope you had a good 4th of July, by the way, because it's July 6th today. So bye.